change is beyond me. So the match underway with Manchester United also, of course, in their change strip of yellow and green. Wimbledon playing Manchester United for the first time ever in an FA Cup tie. And several of these Wimbledon players have been viewed very enviously by a lot of the Premier League clubs. Hughes with the first shot on target here, and almost in fact producing the first goal. Hans Segers called into action very early on. I think a lot of the Wimbledon players thought the referee was going to blow for a free kick. In that moment he didn't, and the ball broke loose to Hughes, who tested Hans Segers. And the Wimbledon goalkeeper, the Dutchman, with a good early save. Giggs with the corner, and this time the referee's whistle has gone and the free kick has gone in Wimbledon's favour. I was going to say a lot of these Wimbledon players have been eyed very enviously by various Premier League clubs, including Manchester United, who it's rumoured would like to have striker Dean Holsworth join them next season, if not this. Joe Kinnear on the right of the picture, the Wimbledon manager, who's done a great job and got an FA Cup winners medal himself in his playing days at Tottenham 27 years ago now. And as Fashanu climbed, Pallister got there a little higher. Irwin finding Giggs, who helps it on to Roy Keane. Typical break from a deep position by the Irishman. This is Giggs. Keane again, and that was a bad challenge by Jones. And Keane is a pretty explosive sort of character as well, and if he and Jones clash horns today, referee Ellery could be a busy man. Vinnie Jones' reputation always goes before him, and Mr. Ellery will be fully aware of it. Free kick to Manchester United. Giggs has run away, so he won't be taking it. It could be Irwin, the number 3. And it is, and it's a good one as well from that range. They are really lucky to possess a player in Dennis Irwin, who is apparently equally good with the right foot or the left. And goalkeepers never quite know what's coming next in those situations. Again, Blissett and Holsworth combining outside the Manchester United penalty area. Parker clears the danger. And now I think we will see one of those bazooka-like throws from Vincent Jones. It's a useful-looking one, and it bounces very dangerously for United. And Fashanu gets the header in, and that was almost a goal. Good save by Schmeichel. So both sides have come close to a goal already here, as Kanchelskis does very well to keep the ball in play and finds Hughes, and the challenge is just enough from Scott Fitzgerald to push Hughes off his stride. Let's look back at this near thing here for Wimbledon. Fashanu coming in on the far post with a header, and it bounced in fact off Pallister as well. Schmeichel did well to get down and save that. Cantona finds himself immediately faced by Fitzgerald, who's going to mark him very tightly. That's a lovely little ball from Hughes, though, and Keane breaks dangerously into the penalty area, and that was a dangerous challenge, but the referee again has seen nothing wrong with it. And Gary Blissett battles to get the ball into the Manchester United half, and then Bruce takes a little crack on the ankles from Fashanu as he played it back to Schmeichel. Well, we're going to look again here at Manchester United's claim for a penalty as Keane broke through. Watch this challenge. No, I think the referee was spot on. Elkins was the only player left really on the cover for Wimbledon, and he had to do that. He had to dive in, because otherwise Keane would have been ahead of him. And in my book, the referee made the right decision there. Parker for United. Cantona. Dear, dear, that's inexcusable, frankly. Vinnie Jones should be booked for that. If the referee lets that one go, then he's going to let anything go in this game, and he could have trouble on his hands. There was no doubt what Vinnie Jones was trying to do there. He did it, and he deserves to be cautioned at least for that. It's a totally unacceptable challenge. Good header by Blissett, stationed out there on the left, and then another challenge by Vinnie Jones that the referee will want to speak to him about. He could be in more trouble here. He's got to be in more trouble. Again, it's just not acceptable. You can't do things like that on a football pitch. He could be off, and I would have not an ounce of sympathy if he goes off. He winds himself up to such a degree, he goes diving in on tackles like that. He will make the excuse that other people try to make it look worse, because referees know about his reputation. Mr. Ellery is laying down the law here. I believe he's saying to him, one more challenge like that and you're off. And he is exactly one of the more lenient referees, Mr. Ellery. I'm a little bit surprised he hasn't sent him off straight away for that. Pallister and Irwin. Pallister joining the attack again. Ince. Giggs. It's a good-looking ball by Giggs, and it's gone in behind the defenders and almost comes to Hughes on the line, and it was cleared by Fear. And I'm not sure how they survived that one, Wimbledon. The Manchester United goal seemed absolutely inevitable then. Well, Warren Barton also to the rescue here. Elkins tried to block it. It came off the goalkeeper's legs, and as Hughes threatened, Barton finally lifted the ball clear from almost underneath his own crossbar. 0-0, 15 minutes of the first half remaining. Wimbledon against Manchester United. The winners will be at home in the quarter-final to Charlton or Bristol City. As Parker swings a dangerous looking ball in, and the header by Cantona might well have been better placed, in fairness. You would have expected more of Manchester United's leading scorer. Lovely cross from Paul Parker, and in that position Cantona has scored goals this season, indeed from more difficult positions than that he scored. Headed it right across the face of goal. Good opening created though by the Premier League champions. Certainly not while they're still in the FA Cup. Ince going forward for Manchester United, finds Hughes. Well, he had time to pick his spot, but he didn't really deliver the sting in the shot that he would have wanted here. Nice build-up play as Ince and Hughes combine very well. Hughes. Irwin. Elkins gets it clear, only to Cantona. What an effort! What a goal! Magnificent! Eric Cantona. 2 minutes to half-time, and Cantona scores a goal that I don't think any other player on the pitch would have been capable of scoring. That is absolutely magnificent volley. Elkins must have thought he'd done enough to get it clear. One touch on the volley, whack! Sager's beaten. A superb goal. Eric Cantona's 18th of the season. If that's enough to gain a place in the quarter-final for Manchester United, then it is truly a goal worthy of winning any game. Oh, that really was special. Cantona battling away with Barton to try and win possession, and he's been helped out by Giggs, and they've got 4 men forward here, Manchester United. Giggs is brought down by Scott Fitzgerald, and that might well be deemed a goal-scoring position by referee Ellery. There was no doubt in my mind that Fitzgerald deliberately brought Giggs down. Does the referee decide that had he not been challenged here, he would have gone on to score? If he does decide that, and does decide that Fitzgerald was the last defender, then he could go off. I rather think it's the yellow card, though, that Fitzgerald has gone away with. And he's rather fortunate. It could be a right footer from Irwin. He could set it up instead for the shot from outside the box, and that's what he did. And in slow, he struck it well and kept it low. Couldn't get it on target. Clever variation, though, by Manchester United. And variety is something they have in abundance in this team. We've had 2 minutes of stoppage time now. But there is the half-time whistle, and Eric Cantona's quite exquisite and magnificent goal separates the sides as they go off at half-time. Alex Ferguson will be absolutely delighted that the side has showed strength and commitment against the physical nature of Joe Kinnear's Wimbledon team today, and they have scored a goal that has given them that very, very valuable and well-deserved lead. So it's Wimbledon who get the second half underway here at Selhurst Park, trailing Manchester United by 1-0 at half-time. Looking back at the action replays of that goal, well, I'll come back to that in a moment, as United threatened dangerously again, straight from the kick-off here. Kanchelskis in possession for them, and a good ball across the box as well. Cleared by Barton on the back post. And they really are straight back into the driving seat here, Manchester United. Kanchelskis again. Lovely little backheeler to Parker. And the cross too close to Sagers. But we looked at the action replays at half-time, and there's no doubt that one Manchester United player, in fact it was Andrei Kanchelskis, was in an offside position when Eric Cantona scored, and was probably in the line of flight of the goalkeeper Hans Sagers here. It would have been a brave referee to disallow such a spectacular goal, and certainly in the spirit of the offside law, the referee was right to allow it to stand. But technically, Kanchelskis was offside. Poor ball straight to Irwin. Now Keane. Lifting it forward for Giggs, and it was a difficult bounce, and Giggs... Oh! How did he not manage to finish them off then? Hughes still has the chance to. And Wimbledon will look back on that as the moment when they could surely have gone out of the FA Cup. A second goal for Manchester United, I would have thought, would kill them off, and it looked absolutely odds on then. Ryan Giggs couldn't find the back of the net, and Wimbledon survive. Great ball here, wasn't it, by Keane? Beautiful, lifted over the top. Barton got himself in trouble. You would have absolutely bet money on Giggs to finish then. I think it actually hit the goalkeeper on the shins as he hit it. Let's have a look from behind the goal, that'll tell us better. Yes, it did, and that deflected it onto the post. Oh, that's a bad challenge. Ince. I don't know how he can claim that was a dive. I don't think Bliss had that in mind at all. I think he was just trying to get round him and get himself into a goal-scoring position here. And that was a high challenge for a start by Ince, and that was a definite trip. Warren Barton backs away. The possibility of curling this one round the four-man defensive wall. And he curls it high instead. He'd been better off, I think, thinking of a shot. And suddenly, Manchester United break loose here, and they got a spare player, Kanchelskis. Keane in the box, others arriving. And the shot by Keane was deflected off Scott Fitzgerald. Corner kick. And even when Wimbledon do get forward, and it's not that often, they run the almighty risk of Manchester United breaking as effectively as that. This is Parker. And now Irwin. The goal scorer, Cantona. And the linesman's flag. It's, I believe, a throw into Manchester United, yes. And they've gone on with it quickly. Kanchelskis. Well, that wasn't a bad effort. He arrives late like that, Ince, and he ought to really get more goals, I think, than he does over a season. Just 3 so far this. And Kanchelskis with a lovely little layoff straight into his path here. They're chasing shadows most of the time, Wimbledon, in all fairness. Giggs. They're up against superior players. And that's no shame, because most teams that play Manchester United find themselves up against superior players. Here's Giggs, one of them, to Kanchelskis, to Cantona. Delicate little ball in towards Hughes. Brilliant save by Sagers. Oh, that would have been some goal as well. It was a glorious move by United. And Hughes with the header that seemed to be sneaking in beneath the crossbar. Sagers produced a fine fingertip save onto the bar and out for a corner. Two great chances now for Manchester United to have made it 2-0 in this second half. Sagers has denied them both times. Giggs whips the corner in and gets another corner out of it. Holdsworth back defending. All hands on deck for Wimbledon now. And that's another. It's Ince. It's 2-0, and it's surely a place in the quarter-final for Manchester United. It had been coming, really, hadn't it? A second goal inevitable, really right from the kick-off of this second half. It came in the end from a rather unlikely route from an Ince header. You don't see too many of them. 64 minutes gone, and a very deliberate downward header beating Sagers on the near post has made it Wimbledon 0, Manchester United 2. Ryan Robson in the stand now, taking the place of his manager, who's gone down to the touchline, sharing the delight of the Manchester United fans all around this stadium, singing a Wembley already. Which competition will it be in? Or will it be in both? They've waited a long time, of course, Manchester United supporters. 26 years for their first league title. Now they're enjoying the domination. Here's Earl for Wimbledon, trying to get them back in the game, and that's a good effort. Well saved by Schmeichel. Thea getting forward from his defensive role for once. And if he'd have hit that with a touch more venom, he might have scored. It was low and right into the corner where goalkeepers hate the ball, but Schmeichel equal to it. 20 minutes remaining for Wimbledon to try and change the nature of this game. 2 down. Cantona with a magnificent volley first half goal just before half time. Ince with a header from a corner in the second half. And Jones the throw in action again. Pallister with the header again. He's been first to every one of them. Cantona. Lovely ball. Kanchelskis. Parker getting forward. And Keane. Ince. Got so many options. And just come out and start again. And a touch of the old Ole football now for Manchester United. Irwin. Ince. Irwin again, that's brilliant play. Brilliant from Irwin. What a magnificent goal that was. Ole football indeed. Well, that's the kind of goal you can only dream about. How many passes went into the making of that? 6, 7? Here's one or two of them. Ince, Irwin, flicked it round the first defender, cut inside the second, and finished crisply into the corner. And this time, I swear, even the Wimbledon fans are applauding. What a brilliant goal. Irwin's third of the season, Manchester United's third of the game. 72 minutes gone. They can pack up and go home now, Wimbledon. But it's worth hanging on for the Wimbledon supporters in case we see a bit more of that. Can't get hold of it, Wimbledon. I think if it was given to them now, they wouldn't quite know what to do with it. It's beautiful. Brilliant football. McClare. Oh, that's a great save by Sagers. He is the one man, I would say, Hans Sagers today, who can hold his head up high. He has performed miracles at the back there for Wimbledon. He's kept 3 or 4 certain goals out, and this was another magnificent move. It deflected off his own player, but that wouldn't have taken anything away from the creation of that opportunity there. And great cheers from all the United fans for the 2 players substituted. They don't seem to mind being substituted, did they? Keane, Giggs, and the space opens up for him, and he finds Dublin. Poor layoff though. It's all over. A comprehensive victory for Manchester United. Dennis Irwin scoring the 3rd goal that really sealed a runaway victory for the English champions. Hughes played his part earlier on, was substituted eventually. Ince with the 2nd goal, a header from a corner, and Cantona had scored a magnificent 1st goal with a volley. No wonder he's smiling. Alex Ferguson has quite simply the best team in the land, and he has now to add to a League Cup semi-final place, an FA Cup quarter-final place, and the home draw at that, and they're top of the league as well. What a season this could turn out to be for Manchester United. The final score at Selhurst Park in this FA Cup 5th round tie: Wimbledon 0, Manchester United 3.